Please join me in welcoming Devin Henderson. Hi, Devin.
Nice to meet you. All right, we're going to start with a little soccer juggling demonstration. The whole idea is to see how many bounces you can get before you drop the ball. And also to be as creative as you can. Thanks. All right. So when I was 10 years old, I set a seemingly impossible goal to get 1,000 kicks. And I went to my dad, because he was my champion. He was also a Marine. Can I get a hoorah? Hoorah. And you know this, once a Marine, always an uptight father. That's right. I said, Dad, I'm going for 1,000 kicks. Do you think I can do it? He said, Devin, I think you can do anything you put your mind to, except that. I don't think it's possible, but I didn't listen, okay? I kept going, and over the years, I kept breaking my record, and when I was 15 years old, I got 1,259. It is possible, hoorah! Yeah! And then a few years ago, I set my all-time high of 11,241. It was 2 hours of continuous kicking. See, when you start small, you can end big. Now, this isn't just a story about soccer, okay? It's a story about how you can always pick up the ball. And what I mean by that is to consistently take meaningful action over time, no matter what. Because when you take meaningful action over time, you start to realize this: something greater is always possible. See, my whole life, I've lived with something I call the possibility mindset. The possibility mindset asks, what else is possible? And never stops asking, no matter what's happening in your world or in the world. And the possibility mindset and several other science-backed strategies have led to me becoming an award-winning magician and comedian, and even performing on the world's biggest stage, America's Got Talent. And these strategies apply to the seemingly impossible things that you and your organization want to achieve. So right now, I'm gonna help you all embrace the possibility mindset. And it starts with a vision. All right, but not just any vision, okay? We're talking about a vision that excites you, that stretches you, and you're not even sure if you could actually pull it off. I'm talking about a seemingly impossible goal. Studies show that people and groups who visualize stretch goals make major strides in innovation, productivity, and impact. I'll give you an example. Okay, you heard of 3M company before? Yeah, well, at one point in time, they made a mandate that every team visualizes and creates a seemingly impossible goal. And do you know what happened as a result? The invention of Scotch tape. Where would present wrapping be without 3M, right? I get it, because again, if you start small, you can end big. Now, my wife and I experienced the same kind of phenomenon, okay? When we first got married 16 years ago, we wanted kids, and I was thinking, let's do 2. And she's like, no, let's do 3. And then this happened. 7. We're overachievers. If you start small, baby, you can end big. All right, all girls, thank you for noticing. Yes, people are like, you trying for that boy? I'm like, do we look like quitters? Other people are like, you thinking about adoption? We're like, thinking about it, but we're gonna keep them. But new possibilities, even if they turn out better and richer than you first imagined, start with a vision. Now, one of the biggest goals I ever imagined for myself professionally was performing on some of the world's biggest stages. I started learning magic when I was 11 years old, and then when I turned 24 years old, my dream of becoming a professional magician came true. And then 10 years into my career, I got the call from America's Got Talent. Can I tell you about it? Yes. Awesome, thank you. Okay, so this is back in 2014. Out of the blue, AGT reaches out to me and says, Devin, we found some of your magic videos on YouTube. We love your stuff. Will you come to Hollywood and audition for season 9? Yeah, yes I will. So months later, they fly me out to Hollywood. Before I know it, I'm backstage at the Dolby Theater where there's 5,000 people in the crowd, sitting right behind Howard Stern, Heidi Klum, Mel B, and Howie Mandel. And I walked out onto that huge stage and I nailed it. I mean, just like, boom, nailed it. The crowd erupted in applause. It was hands down to that day the highest moment of my entire career. Then it gets turned over to the judges. And Mel B said, so Devin, what exactly do you want from America's Got Talent? And I so badly wanted to say, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I didn't want to spice it up too much though, you know? She went on, she said, I was expecting something more spectacular. And I was like, what? But then Heidi said, it was amazing. And I was like, thank you, Heidi. And then Howard Stern said, man, great trick. I just don't know if it played to this big of an audience. And I was like, oh. Then Howie Mandel said, I have friends who do a similar routine, but they do it better. And that was it. Got voted off right then. They never aired my segment. They didn't even put it on YouTube. It felt like it never happened. And I was so devastated, I wanted to quit. Have you ever been there? You ever wanted to quit? Well, good news, I did not quit magic. In fact, I use it in my keynote presentations to inspire the attendees to be amazing in their life and in their work. But how did I keep going? And how can you keep going at those times where you feel like you can't? Well, I discovered something that completely transformed the way that I was feeling, and it can transform you too. I call it the AGT perspective. AGT as in, America's Got Talent. But after what happened, those words, they caused me pain. So I knew I needed to redefine what those letters meant so that I could see new possibilities again. And now AGT means this: always give thanks. Crazy simple, insanely powerful, not always the easiest for us to apply in our hardest moments. The studies show that leaders who regularly show appreciation and gratitude attract and retain better quality talent, even during times of limited resources and heightened challenges. I mean, can you imagine how you could transform your workplace just by inspiring that gratitude of culture? A culture that says, what do we have right now that's priceless? Because when we're experiencing pain about one thing, it's so easy to overlook the treasure we already have. And I learned that in a very profound way back in the summer of 2017. I was in Las Vegas to deliver a keynote presentation, and I just happened to pass the hotel where Matt Franco performs. Matt Franco, magician, winner of AGT, season 9. When I saw his name, all that pain came right back to me. But then out of nowhere, a deep sense of gratitude came upon me. It made me see something I had never seen. It was the realization of the perfection of what had happened, and this is what it was. Had things not happened the way that they did, we wouldn't have our last 3 kids. I'll explain. When I auditioned, we had 4 kids. We didn't have our last 3 yet. And if you were to somehow go back in time and change something, it's obviously going to change many outcomes in the future. And had things not happened exactly the way they had, we wouldn't have our 3 youngest treasures, Eva, Emmy, and Haven, who, by the way, mean more to me than winning any competition ever could. Well, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Of course, in the full keynote, we go so much deeper into pursuing greatness, never giving up, and we also talk about how to embrace imperfection, but also how to minimize risk and deliver even during times when failure is not an option. We also look at the roadblocks to success and things that try to threaten your team from picking up the ball. And as you can see, all this is shared in an atmosphere that inspires amazement, engagement, and transformation. And I would love to come to your organization to help your people ignite their untapped potential. But for right now, I want all of you just to please remember this: something greater is always possible. Even if you can't always see it, something greater is always possible for you and for the people that you collaborate with. So now I invite you to never stop asking, what else is possible? Commit to picking up the ball. And no matter what, remember to always give thanks. Because thankfulness will not only help you discover new possibilities, it will help you see the treasure that already exists in your life, if you'll simply open your eyes to it. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.